Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I'm Damien. Today's live stream, we're looking at the price of Bitcoin. It is down, obviously, and it's looking like it's making new lower lows here, breaking through a support zone that we want to stay above, and probably on its way down to lower prices here, as we're unable to hold support at 94K here. Okay, Bitcoin currently trading at $92,600 roughly, and we got some support below us that we got to talk about, see what could be next here for Bitcoin if it continues dropping down. But yeah, Bitcoin obviously in a downtrend, in a bear market, making lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, and continuing to drop down like a rock, making more lower lows here. As I thought to zoom out here to try and get an idea as like where the support could be for Bitcoin, there is a 0.236 retracement at 86K, $86,700 Bitcoin, which is a Fibonacci number here, that if you drew the fib from $74,000 where Bitcoin was at back here in April to the top here at 126,200, you end up getting a Fibonacci level at that price level at 86K. So that could be a level that we could see Bitcoin come down to. Okay, if I pull up the VRVP indicator here, which is the visual range volume profile indicator, it's this green and red bar indicator off to the right here. It's showing that the highest volume node is right where this blue line is at 96K. We're currently below that. I was kind of hoping that we would get some support at that area, and we kind of did going into, I believe, like Friday of last week. Then we lost that, and we continued on to 92, 93K. Now, if we're still using the VRVP indicator to find out where the support levels are, okay, it starts to get a little bit dicey once you start losing 92K. Okay, not really much support. There's something here at like 91.5K, but I'm not sure how long, I'm not sure how strong that's gonna hold up. There's even more support here at 88K. All right, 88K seems to be the area where we could get some support. This is just taking the information from all the people that bought and sold Bitcoin over the past year, going into like October of last year. And this is where people were buying and selling their Bitcoin. 88K could be the next area that we have to go down to. And then, of course, you see there's a little bit of gap here on the VRVP indicator. And then we have right over here, we have like 84K. And that's smack, you know, that's like 86. We did say 86K, but that's like smack dab in between 84 and 88K. So there is some support in the $80,000 range here if we have to go down there to get some more demand and support for Bitcoin. But that's what I'm seeing here on the charts. You know, it's not looking so great. You know, I was kind of hoping that Bitcoin would stay above 92K, which, I mean, as of now, it is above 92K, but we're threatening to go down to lower prices here, and I just don't know how much we have left in ourselves to hold this support here. Okay. Of course, all the other cryptocurrencies, all the other altcoins, they're all, you know, taking a big hit right now, except for ICP. ICP is up 10% today for some reason. But yeah, most of these cryptocurrencies, they're all down. You know, Bitcoin's down only Bitcoin's only down what, 1.5%? But yeah, you got like Solana down 4%, Sui down 3%, Zcash is even down 6%, and so is Dash. Those were some of the high flyers from last week. So you have some coins here that were acting as pretty strong coins over the last couple of weeks, and even they're down today. So not looking good in cryptocurrency world. Looking pretty good to like go in a short and see if it can actually play out for you. And if it does play out for you, then you know for damn sure we're in a bear market. If you can just short a support area, like I don't like the idea of shorting right now Bitcoin at 92K. But if we're not going to hold 92K, then guess what? You're actually going to get paid to short if we can't hold 92K. So anyways, let me get into the chat here, see what you guys have to say about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. If you guys want to talk about something else, we can talk about stock market if you want to, or anything else makes you guys feel better and comfortable out there. But let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. My TikTok guys are saying RIP crypto, it was fun while it lasted. Seems that way, kidder, huh? It was fun while it lasted. Was it fun? I mean, Bitcoin barely went up throughout this entire year. It would make a high at like 123K, and then like 2 months later another high at like 124K, and then like another 2 months later and make like high at 126K, like going up like $1,000 for a new all-time high. And yeah, just very lackluster performance. Hot Dog Water wants to look at XRP. All right, Hot Dog Water, we can take a look at XRP for you. Sure, why not? Alrighty. Let's take a look at XRP. Just want to check my volume here. Alright, yep, my volume's doing pretty good here. Alright. XRP. As we pull the price here, as you see it above my head, at $2.14, down 3.1% today. And sure, why not use the VRVP indicator to help figure out where price might go next here. As I start to zoom out and gather some more data here in the VRVP indicator here, you can see that the VRVP indicator, there's a lot of volume, right? Kind of like where we're at right now. You got a high volume node here at like $2.19. We're actually below that right now. But if we keep losing the price action here, if the price action keeps going down, the lower prices here, we got a big gap in the VRVP. There's a little bit of something here at $1.89, $1.90. But after that, after $1.90, then there's not really much support until you come down to like $1.48 here on XRP. $1.48 could be where XRP has to go next in order to get people excited to buy some XRP again. And then, of course, if we lose that on the VRVP indicator, there's $1.12 could be where XRP comes down to. And these levels, they're not here out of nowhere, guys. Like, people were buying XRP at $1.48 and $1.12, because if I zoom back here to history, you know, if I start zooming into like what we were doing here in 2024, you can see that there were some people buying XRP at like $1.40, $1.50, right around here in November of 2024. And then also there's some people buying here at $1.10 back here in November of 2024. So, you know, the VRVP indicator, very helpful and useful, but you can also look at the previous price action on the charts and you can see, like, you know, where people were buying and selling XRP about a year ago in November of last year in 2024. And if you see sideways price action, you know people were buying and selling in this area and they thought it was an area worth buying into. So you would think, like, the people that bought here at $1.48, they're still in profit right now. It's not until we actually come down to like $1.48, $1.40, and then those people that bought there, they're just back at break even. They're not going to hit the sell button unless they're going to panic. And if they do, then they can send the price down to $1.10, and then the people at $1.10 will be at break even. And they're not going to panic until we go below $1.10. And then they'll probably join in on the frenzy of selling off their XRP. Okay, so that's what I see here on the charts here as far as low prices for XRP, $1.48 and $1.10, just using the VRVP indicator here. Let's see if I can find anything else here for support on XRP. Let me get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. Okay, if I go into the weekly time frame, maybe there might be some moving average support below us. And I don't really have much data here for XRP, at least not on Coinbase Exchange. I might have to use another exchange to get the data here. But you can see that we do have a 50 moving average on the weekly time frame at $1.59. So once again, there it is, like $1.50, $1.48. You know, looks like here $1.59. If traders are going to respect that level here off the 50-week moving average, you have this green line that can provide support for XRP to the downside here. Now let me get into XRP on like Binance. I bet you I can get some more moving averages here if I go on the Binance exchange. Yeah, so I do have some more information here on Binance, and there is a 50-week moving average once again at $1.59, that green line. But then there's also a 100 moving average at $1.23 and a 200 moving average at $1.04. This is off the weekly time frame using a Binance chart here. Okay. So yeah, that might be something worth taking a look at as well if you want to just use moving averages to figure out where the support might be for XRP here. Ozzy, the crypto goat, says $1 XRP coming soon, and he has a smiley face. Are you gonna actually buy some XRP? You can't just do a smiley face if you don't plan on buying it at that level there, Ozzy. ST Jin says we're cooked. Feels that way. All right. Ozzy's over here spreading the fear monger. Thank you for liking the live here, Ozzy, and thank you for liking the live here, Shafi, as well. Yeah, XRP taking a hit. Let's take a look at some other cryptocurrencies here. Let's take a look at Solana. See how much further Solana could possibly go down. Using the yeah, sure, why not use the weekly time frame and get the weekly moving averages here. We do have a 200 moving average, weekly moving average for Solana here, sitting at $102 here. That could be a level. I think it's also a psychological level where there could be some support for Solana. So that could be the next level for Solana to go down to. However, there is another weekly moving average here at the 100 moving average at $119. If you're using moving averages and using the weekly time frame, that could be another area where we could get some support for Solana, because we're already below the 50 moving average and the 21 EMA here. So yeah, we got that going on right now. Let's turn on the VRVP indicator here. I'll zoom out to get some more data here, and we'll see what the VRVP has to say about where the high volume nodes might be. So you do have a high volume node here at like $96 for Solana. Jeez, Solana might have to go down there to get some support. You can see that we're kind of we have a lot of volume here at $130, 131. So if, like, you know, if crypto can pull itself together, if Bitcoin and crypto and Solana can pull itself together here, I mean, we should get a bounce off these levels right now at $130 here for Solana. However, if $130 is not going to hold, you know, you got a gap in the VRVP indicator, and then there's like something here at 111, 110. But then there's even more support here at like $100 and $96. So that's not looking good either. Okay, for Solana to the downside. But I mean, if you're willing to short, this could be a good, you know, you could make some money shorting this thing. Let's try to game plan like a low leverage short here. Okay, if you were to take this down, right, how much could you make trying to short this thing? All right, so if we short right now at 131 bucks, we'll put the stop loss below I'm sorry, above in this case. We'll put the stop loss above the highs for the week here at $143, okay? And you're targeting, you know, 100, about 103, 102. You're basically targeting the 200 moving average on the weekly time frame. It's about a 22% gain on your short. However, the stop loss, it's should be tighter because your risk reward ratio is only 2.14. What you could do is you go into the daily time frame here, see what the highs for today was. Oh yeah, well the highs for today was 143 bucks. So I guess yeah, I guess you can't really use that. Maybe you could put a little bit tighter than that. Maybe like at 138 bucks or 137 bucks where the opening for this daily candle is at. Now your stop loss is only 5% and your target down to 102 bucks. You're still going to make 22% and your risk reward ratio becomes 4. So that could be a worthwhile short if you want to take a short on Solana here. Let me get back in the chat here, see what you guys are saying. Megaton thinks we're gambling over here. Megaton says it's easy to work. Gambling ends very badly every time. Loser mentality. Yeah. But sometimes it could also help to put your money to work too. Okay. I mean, you can work to make money, but then you can also go on the charts here, and if you manage your stop losses and you manage your trades, you can actually make money trading. Okay. And it ends up becoming work in itself to be on the charts like this all day long. Okay, so you actually are working when you're trading. Okay, it's not just gambling. Gambling is like, oh, I'm gonna not really think much of it. I'm just gonna enter a short, not put a stop loss in, and hope for the best. That's gambling. Okay, not even putting a stop loss in. That's gambling. Megaton's getting on his soapbox here and preaching over here. He's talking about gambling. Will lose your job, marriage, house, risk, everything. Well, yeah, especially if you don't know how to manage risk. If you don't know how to manage risk and you don't use stop losses, then yeah, you are gambling, and you probably will lose everything if you are gambling. But that's why I was talking about using a stop loss here, shorting Solana. Now, I don't want to short Solana at this area. I feel like shorting at a support area is not a good choice. But if we're going to continue being bearish, then maybe this thing plays out on a short here. Now let's go ahead and try to see if we can come up with a long case here. If we were going to long this instead of shorting it, let's see what longing would do here for Solana. All right, so here you can put the stop loss really tight, unless you really think we're going to go down to like 125 bucks. Okay. If you think we're going to go down 105 bucks, you put the stop loss at like maybe 120 bucks here. But if you were to enter right now on a long on Solana, and you're just trying to target the 200-day moving average at 180 bucks, I mean, that right there, that's a 38% gain. And your stop loss is 7.8%, hanging out at 120 bucks. And your risk reward ratio is 4.8. That's a worthwhile trade to get into, in my opinion, because it's above 3 on the risk reward ratio. Okay, so you're managing your losses here. Okay, you're only going to lose about 7%, which I don't think is everything, right? You're not losing everything. And then your reward is a 38% gain on Solana if it just gets back up to the 200-day moving average. Now, you know, if you do leverage trading, you could make that even juicier, where if you put like a 2x leverage on this, then your stop loss is actually going to be about around 15%, maybe 16%. And your reward is going to be giving you about 76% on a 2x leverage long. And if you do a 3x leverage long, then you're talking about like $116 gain. You're going to basically double your money with 3x leverage on this. And with 3x leverage, you're still managing your stop loss would only be about taking out about 23% on your stop loss. So you're still not losing everything if you did a long and you're able to sit in this until it gets to $180. Laureen's in the chat. Good to see you, Laureen. Hi to you as well. Thank you for liking the live. We're at 632 likes here. Let's see if we can get up to 1,000 likes on TikTok. I think we can do that. All you guys gotta do is double tap the screen. Appreciate that. Megaton. All right, what are you talking about here, Megaton? Solana MACD is deep underwater. You're gambling, not knowing technical trend, guessing game. Okay. Have I done Bitcoin already? Yes, I have, Lorraine. And Megaton's talking about Solana's MACD. On the daily time frame, what time frame are you using, Megaton? I want to see what the MACD is doing here on the daily time frame. But if you use a different time frame, then let me know. All right, so on the MACD for Solana, okay. Yes, you have selling pressure here that showed up here in late September. A little bit of buying pressure in October, but not really that much. Then you have more selling pressure here on towards the middle of October, and a little bit of buying pressure right before Halloween, and then more selling pressure, more selling pressure. Okay, so all right, yeah, there's some selling pressure going on Solana. That's how Solana got down to 130 bucks in the first place. What we're looking for on the MACD time frame is we want to see selling pressure dying down and getting flipped over into buying pressure. We want to see green candles here, but right now, yeah, today we could have had selling pressure dying down and giving us a pink candle, but today we had a red candle show up here showing that selling pressure is increasing on Solana. So yeah, maybe we have to go to lower prices here on Solana. Okay, if we continue seeing more increasing red pressure, then you'll see the price of Solana go further down into that $120 area that I was talking about earlier. Okay, so yeah, you're not entirely wrong there, my friend, about the MACD on Solana. Let's see. What is anything good showing up here on MarketCypher B? You are in oversold territory here on the daily time frame, where you got the green horizontal bars here showing that this is the oversold territory. If you see a green buy dot showing up right over here in the oversold territory, could be actually a good time to go long on Solana, but you don't have that green buy dot yet, saying that, you know, we should be thinking about buying Solana right now. Okay, so I will give you that. Okay, and then as far as like the regular RSI goes, okay, the relative strength index is showing that Solana is in oversold territory at 27.43, but it doesn't mean that it can't go further into oversold territory. Okay, but we haven't been this oversold on Solana since February, earlier this year. Okay, I think Solana did go down to lower prices in March and April, but yeah, RSI has not been this low since like February. Yeah, I'm trying to see what it's saying right here. But yeah, February, right around here, and we still actually went down a little bit lower on Solana. Going into like April's when we saw Solana at like 95 bucks. So doesn't look so good on the charts. RK Lamer says he's gonna marry MACD. Nitro is asking me, are we going higher this year on Bitcoin, or do I think it's the bottom for the year? Well, you're basically saying that the bottom's right now, because in both of those examples, I mean, we have the bottom right now in order for us to go to higher prices on Bitcoin. And then you're basically asking me, is it the bottom for the year? Well, if I say yes to that, then yeah, I mean, you're not giving me another scenario here, Nitro. I think what you meant to say is, are we going to go lower on Bitcoin, or is this the bottom for the year? Yeah. I mean, I could go back into Bitcoin again. I think Lorraine was asking about Bitcoin as well, so let me go back into Bitcoin again here. Bitcoin at 92,550. Hopefully you guys can see that above my head on the live stream here for my YouTube guys, which is not too much of you guys. No one really wants to show up when Bitcoin's dropping down like a rock here. Okay. All right. So do I think we could bottom out here? I would love to see us bottom out here. Okay, on Bitcoin. We're at the prices that people were buying Bitcoin at back here in April. And we're actually losing those prices right now, okay? Back here in April, let me see. On the daily time frame here, we had a candlewick low that got us down to like 91,600, and another candlewick low here that got us to like 91,902. Kind of coming up on that. So the people on April 23rd and April 24th, they were able to scoop up cheap Bitcoin at these prices. We lost most of the support zone here, between like 92,900 to like 96,900. We lost all this. I thought this was gonna help us stay above, and it tried its darnest during the weekend to support us, but we're losing these levels. So now the people that bought here in April and beginning of May, they're sweating bullets, because now they're not at break even anymore. They're not at break even. They're actually now in the negative on their Bitcoin position right now. So I thought this was gonna be a tough area for us to fight through. I thought we would at least get a bounce and maybe go from 92K up to like 99 or 100K, but we're not even getting that, you know, this weekend or today. And now we're threatening to lose what we did here in April as far as like creating a support zone. And this is where we could start seeing Bitcoin come down to like down here, where people were buying Bitcoin in the beginning of April at 84K and 88K. That's the area that I talked about earlier in the live stream, where we could go next if we lose 92K. We're gonna go down to 88K or 84K as the next stop for Bitcoin here. Okay. So I hope that kind of answers your question. We can't lose where we're at right now, or else we're going to go lower. And if we go lower, we're probably going to go down to 88 or 84K, somewhere in that area. We got someone here saying that we need to go at least down to 76K for the market to balance. What's your reason for that? Is there any indicator or strategy that you're using to figure out that 76K has to be the area that we have to go down to for balance? Sinister Shadows is asking about XRP. We already looked at XRP. That was like one of the first requests that we looked at, Sinister Shadows. For XRP, I think XRP, we could, if we don't stay where we're at right now on XRP, we lose the $2 psychological level. There is a little bit of support at $1.90, but if we can't hold $1.90, then we're going to probably come down to $1.50 on XRP. And if that doesn't hold, then we could see $1.10 on XRP. I want to kind of stick to the Bitcoin chart here for a second here. Also on Bitcoin, I have drawn some Fibonacci levels from the 74K area that Bitcoin was at back here in April. This is where we got as low as for Bitcoin to the 126K area. So I drew the fib from the low to the high at 126,200, and we have a Fibonacci level below us at 86,700. That's in between that 84 and 88K area that I was talking about for Bitcoin. And then some people have been talking about the CME futures here for Bitcoin, saying that we have to fill in a gap. Maybe this is what we need to do for Bitcoin. I think we might have filled in that gap. I don't know. Let me take a look here. So this is where Bitcoin's at on the chart, right? 92,600. There is a gap that people say needs to be filled, okay? And it will get filled, you know, at one point. And I think this is what we're aiming for on the CME futures. We have a gap here at 91,970. So we could wick below, you know, we don't even have to go down there and stay down there. We just have to go down to 91,970, come back up again, and that closes the gap there that we did on the CME futures gap for Bitcoin. Let's see, we came down to 92,430, so we got to go down a little bit more just to fill in that gap, and that should satisfy the CME futures guys who are saying that we have a gap at 91K. Okay, but maybe you might see that later on this afternoon or later on tonight, where Bitcoin drops down to like 91K, and then maybe we start getting the bids start showing up, where we get some people buying Bitcoin again. Okay, so I wanted to point that out to you guys, that there is some people out there that are talking about 91K as a potential bounce zone. I would hope so. I mean, it's been one bad day after another bad day for Bitcoin. It's like, when does the bleeding stop here is what we're all trying to figure out right now on Bitcoin and crypto. And 91K might be it, but we might have to actually go down to 88 or 84K to stop the bleeding for now. Matthias is asking about USRC. I could try to take a look at that for you. I don't think I have a cold, Lorraine. It's just I've done a lot of talking in this live stream, and my throat ends up being parched, and I just have to drink water. Yeah. Sinister Shadows wants to look at Pepe. Let me go ahead and write these things down here. Alright, so we gotta look at USRC and Pepe. I just do too much talking, Lorraine. That's why I sound this way. Oh, is it USRC? Yeah, alright, USRC. Okay, yep. No, Lorraine, it's just, I don't know. I sound like this almost all the time, especially if I do a lot of talking on my live streams. I don't, that's why I drink a lot of water whenever I can. Oh, is it USCR? Alright. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Anyways, let's take a look at USCR, and we'll take a look at Pepe. USCR, is that a crypto or a stock? I gotta ask. Let's see, US. How about USRC? Yeah. Oh, is it a crypto? I think I see DZ in the chat. Is that DZ Baby Toshi in the chat right there? He's asking for Toshi and ALCX. ALCX. Alright. Alright, well, let me try to find this crypto right here. Is it USRC? Alright, USRC. Yeah, well, when I type in USRC, I can't really find the crypto for that. Is it a brand new crypto? Because it might, if it's a brand new crypto and it's not on any of the crypto exchanges, then I'm not going to be able to pull the chart for it. Phoenix says it's a scam coin. It's on Phantom. Alright, yeah, if I can't pull it up on the exchanges here, then I'm not going to be able to actually look at the charts for it. United States Crypto Reserve, that's the name of it. I'll literally spell it out, United States Crypto Reserve, see if that comes up. What? Alright, I think I might have found it here. United States Crypto Reserve. Looks like you can find it here on Orca Exchange. Is this where it's trading at 2 cents, roughly 0.021 pennies, 219 pennies? Yeah, down 8% today. I don't know what you want me to do for analysis on this. This thing looks like it started trading last month, so there's not that much data. The only thing I could do is I could pull up a Fibonacci and maybe come up with some levels to look for. And you got to get up to that 0.236 level, that roughly 5 cents here. That's your next level to look at, look above. You got a 21 EMA that's just starting to show up here at like 6 cents. So maybe like 6 cents could be your target to the upside for USCR here. Let me go into like the 1 hour time frame, see if there's any moving averages that start to show up. And I got some moving averages on the 1 hour time frame. And on the 1 hour time frame, you got the 50 moving average above you at 0.028 pennies, and then you got the 200 moving average at 6 pennies. I think 6 pennies is an area to look out for here, because it keeps showing up on the charts here. I would target, roughly 6 pennies or that 0.236 level, sitting at like 0.057 pennies here. All right, moving on from that one. Let's look at Pepe now. DZ, you feel like the top is in? Seems like that now that we're we're more than 20% below on the all-time high for the Bitcoin price. And we still keep going down, making lower lows as well. Oh wow, look at this. I wrote something here on Pepe. Do not lose this level, could be more bad news. And of course we lost that level. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we're now looking at Pepe, currently trading at 474 is what I'm going to call it, down 2.6% today. And what's going on here with Pepe is like every time we come up to the 21 EMA, this white line, it acts as resistance. So right now, if Pepe was to start all of a sudden start climbing up to higher prices, I would expect a rejection at 591, where that white 21 EMA is sitting at. Okay, until you can actually get above the 21 EMA, until you can get enough buyers to step on in and get yourself above the 21 EMA, I would expect the 21 EMA to act as resistance like it's been doing since the end of September here. Okay, and Pepe is not looking so good, because look at this, you lost the 200 moving average, that red line right there. Came back, you back tested it once, back tested it twice, and that was game over for Pepe. Game over for Pepe. As it lost the 200-day moving average in a convincing fashion, especially around October 10th. We lost 27% in one day. Yikes. So, I mean, I don't know if I can give you any hopium down here. It is a meme coin. Let's not forget that. Meme coins, you can make a lot of money and lose a lot of money all in the same time. The support for Pepe, I mean, there's a candlewick low here on April 13th where we got as low as 411. Maybe that acts as support. Who knows? Then there's some sideways trading action here at like 280. Maybe that could act as support. We shall see. But, I mean, you can do a round trip on Pepe where Pepe could come all the way back down to where it was in February 2024 when this thing was trading at 100. And that's about another 75% drop from where we are right now. Yikes. I wouldn't be messing around with Pepe at this point. Matter of fact, what I would do, if you haven't sold any of your spot bags, not financial advice, but if you haven't sold any of your spot bags, and we come right back up to that 21 EMA at 591, I would start selling some of your spot bags. I mean, well, I would sell some of my spot bags if I was in Pepe at the 21 EMA. I'm not going to tell you what to do. because I don't want to tell you what to do, and then you do it, and you get mad at me, and you try to sue me. So I would start offloading my Pepe once we get up to like 591 here, where that white 21 EMA is at. But man, you really have not had any opportunity to try and offload. We've had like 1, 2, 3, 4 bad days in a row. One green day barely got us above. Now we have like another couple of red days here. It's brutal out there. Brutal. Joshy Boy's asking about BitF. Casey Cattle's making a joke. Can't chart that one. Yeah, I couldn't really chart USRC. It's brand new. The only thing I can do is go into smaller time frames, and then I get the moving averages to start showing up on that one. I don't totally give up on assets. I know there's some people that ask me about particular assets that have been around for like 2 or 3 days, and the only thing I can do is do a Fibonacci and then get into like maybe like the 1 hour or the 15-minute time frame, see if the moving averages can give us an idea as like what I can do for technical analysis. DZ saying he needs Toshi to 4650 so he can get the F out. And yeah, DZ, I'm right there with you. I think if Bitcoin goes up to 100K, we could get rejected. We could test it and then reject it. I'm right there with you on that one. A relief rally and then go back down, yeah. Okay, let's move on from Pepe. We'll take a look at Toshi's coming up, and then we'll take a look at BitF and ALCX. How's that sound? All right, let's look at Toshi now. Oh man, I mean all these charts are looking brutal. Toshi currently trading at 37.85, down 9.2% today. And I think we looked at Toshi before, right? Because I identified that Toshi could be in a bear flag. And the bear flag looks like it's playing out where we could see Toshi come down to 29.60, that blue number right there. I took this bear flag, this is the flagpole, right? And I took it from like, you know, what we were doing back here earlier in November. That's your measured move, your flagpole. This is like an upside down flag, and this is your bear flag. And you just take this to where we're breaking out right now, and it says that we could get down to 29.90, 29, yeah, that blue number right there on Toshi. TC's like, I might just get the F out right now. So Toshi, you've heard about dollar cost averaging in. There's also this thing called dollar cost averaging out. Now, obviously, you probably want to average out on a day where we're getting green, but we haven't had that many green days, especially the past week here. We've had a red day on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Saturday was your only green day, but it was up barely, and then we had another red day. So, you know, just something to, not financial advice, but something that you might try to do is maybe sell some of it, not all of it. Maybe sell half of it, and then maybe if we get a bounce and we get up to that, well, you're looking for 46.50. You can sell the other half at 46.50 if we do get a bounce. Something that might help, you know, with your dollar cost averaging out. You probably heard about dollar cost averaging in, but that would be dollar cost averaging out. Now, obviously, dollar cost averaging out, you probably want to do that at higher prices, right? Like this was, you know, back here in September and October. You know, that was the time to be dollar cost averaging out. Okay. But I don't think too many of us were expecting a violent sell-off like we had in the last couple of months here in October and November. But maybe we should have expected it to be this way, because a lot of people were already saying, oh yeah, October. And November, fourth quarter, is like the best quarter for crypto. You do not want to miss out on that. And maybe there was just too much hopium in the markets that was keeping us up at the prices that we were at in September and October. And then when things didn't play out the way we thought they were going to play out, you know, people are clicking that sell button and getting the hell out of crypto as fast as they can here. Yeah, it seems like that way. November 3rd was a bad day for Toshi, huh? Down 16%. And you're below all the moving averages. Just getting back to the 200 moving average, that would put Toshi at 62.85. And that's almost like a double from where we are right now. Not saying or advocating that you should buy Toshi right now, but if you're able to hold it and this thing does violently do a V-shaped recovery back to that 200-day moving average, you're looking at 62.80 for Toshi as a take profit target. That'd be a nice area to get out. That's almost like a double from where we are right now. If I just measure that out real quick here, if you can get up to that 200-day moving average, that's about like well, maybe not a double, but it's like it's a 66% gain. That, you know, but damn, this could end up being another bear flag, especially if we go sideways from where we are right now. I mean, I think a lot of people are just hoping that we go sideways because, I mean, how much further down can we go on Toshi? There is some support levels down here in April where we, you know, Toshi was at like 3,000. You know, so like right here, like 3,500. And then even the lowest lows for Toshi was back here in April when this thing was down at 2,000. Yikes. That would not be good. Yeah. No bueno. DZ, I looked at Bitcoin like almost twice in this live stream so far. And this, if we lose 92K, we might be heading on down to 88K and then 84K. And I was using the VRVP to make that analysis, but there's also Fibonacci at that area where we could see 86K as well. So that's where anywhere between 84K and 88K is what I see for Bitcoin if we can't hold where we're at right now. And then there's a CME futures gap at 91K. That I think some people are waiting for that to get filled. I think if you look at Porky's Discord channel, they were talking about. I think Sir Naptime was talking about, you know, we got to fill in that CME gap. And that's at like 91, I think 91,700. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if we go down there, we could just go down there today and then come right back up. And that, you know, satisfies filling in the gap for the CME gap. ICP is doing very well. Yeah, I saw that, Lorraine. Yeah, it's like up 13.9% today. I noticed you're very attracted to whatever is going up on a bad day, Lorraine. Kind of like a moth to a flame. But yeah, I mean, I see it. It's one of the very few that's actually doing well today. Let's take a look at BitF, and then we'll take a look at ALCX after that. Bitfarms, I believe that's on the NASDAQ here. Looking at the daily time frame for Bitfarms. Currently trading at $2.55. Basically doing a round trip. Going back to the same prices that you saw back here in September 26th. But, I mean, is this thing actually going to catch some bids here? You're at the 50-day moving average, that green line, sitting at 237. You got to bounce off of that last Friday. Could we actually respect this as support and go up to higher prices on Bitfarms? I don't know. We shall see. But if we lose this, you do got the 100-day moving average below you at $1.90, and the 200-day moving average sitting at $1.70. And now I kind of want to draw a Fibonacci, see what the Fibonacci has to say about this thing. I'm going to measure from the swing low down here to the swing high. And it looks like we're at the 0.236 fib retracement level at $2.50 here for Bitfarms. So you already made your deep retracement. Could you go up to higher prices? If you go up to higher prices, then the 0.382 level could be an area where you might want to take profit at 329, and then the 0.5 retracement at 392 could be another area where you want to take profit. And now I'm going to throw on the VRVP indicator, see if that shows anything for us to look at. You get the value area high, this white line, at $4.20, which is right above this high volume area at 390. So I would actually be targeting 390 for a take profit target on Bitfarms here, because there were some people that were buying and selling, and they might want to get out at break even if this thing gets back up to 390 here. Then you got another high volume node at 340. Right above this 0.32 retracement. So I'd be taking profit at 340 and 390 here on Bitfarms. DZ's asking me, did I sell all my spot bags? No, I did not, because I was hoping for that little bounce to 100K, just like you. And I was gonna probably sell some more of my spot bags if Bitcoin does bounce up to 100K, but we're not even getting a bounce. This is hot. That has been that vicious of a brutal sell-off that we're not even getting a bounce. Not even a dead cat pity bounce. It's like, come on. Laureen says yes, and the moth gets burned. Well, at least you understand what your spirit animal is, Laureen. All you can do is just laugh about it, right? Joshy Boy says he's planning on holding it long term. Were you the one that requested Bitfarms? Okay. Yeah, you were the one that requested it. I mean, if Bitfarms ends up coming down to those lower prices, like the 200-day moving average at $1.70, you could scoop up some cheaper Bitfarms if you're in it for the long term, and you know, you might be getting a discount for the year, you know, like almost like a Black Friday sale. Maybe it might even happen on Black Friday. What was that, like 2 weeks from now? DZ, you're gonna use me as your signal, as your copy trade when I get out of cryptos when you're gonna get out. Yeah, DZ, I'm glad you're aware of that these coins, they can dump 90% and you think you're getting a good deal, and then they drop down another 90% from where you bought it at. That is definitely something that cryptocurrencies are capable of doing, which is very scary to think about. I've done it myself. I bought like this cryptocurrency last year called AIT Protocol. It dropped down from $1 down to like 10 cents. I actually bought it at 6 cents. I remember it getting down to 10 cents, and I actually got in at 6 cents. And you know what it's trading at right now? Like less than half of a penny. Like it dropped down another 90% on me. But I didn't put too much into it. I was doing like, 1% of my total portfolio is in AIT Protocol. So now my 1% is only 0.1% now. Oh, you're funny, DZ. You gonna pay me? Jason Varish is saying, is World Liberty Finance worth grabbing a bag? So I guess that's a request for World Liberty. I was gonna look at ALCX after this one. So let me look at ALCX and then I'll look at World Liberty Finance for you. Don't forget to hit that like button. We're at 5,000 likes here on TikTok. I appreciate that, guys. But let's see if we can get up to like 6,000, maybe even 10,000 by the end of the stream. Did Bitcoin go down some more? That's what Laureen's saying right now. Bitcoin at 92,400. It's slowly chopping through. I think we could see $91,000 Bitcoin later on tonight, and then hopefully maybe that's where we get a bounce, and we can close up that CME gap, so we don't have to hear people talking about that anymore. Let's move on to ALCX right now. On Binance, sure. How you guys enjoying the music? I decided to play some new tunes. I kept doing the 80s music, which was pretty interesting to listen to, but I wanted to listen to something else. And, you know, just give you something new to listen to here, guys. Let me know if you like it or not. I think I actually like it myself. I'll probably play it again, this playlist here. Alright, so now we're looking at ALCX, currently trading at $11.59, down 11.7% today. ALCX. Didn't we talk about ALCX like last week? And this one was looking pretty good last week, right? Like Thursday, we got up to like $17 there. That was nice, right? We try to see if this thing was to be bullish enough to get back up to that 786 retracement at 17 bucks. After topping out at $20 here on November 6th here. So, I don't know. ALCX. It is bullish. It's doing better than Bitcoin and a lot of other cryptocurrencies because you are above all the moving averages. The moving averages are below you right now. At 21 EMA, that white line's trying to catch up right now. Sitting at $9.79. Right now it's confluent with that 0.236 retracing at 941. If this thing does another steep drop going into tomorrow or later on this week, we could, you know, come down to $9.40. Maybe get a bounce off the 21 EMA and a bounce off this 0.236 level, and then see maybe $11 all over again here for ALCX. Now, if Bitcoin will stop bleeding and we can get Bitcoin to go back up to 100K again, then I would expect this to be the lowest price you can get ALCX right now. You're already at the 0.382 retracement at 1144 here, okay? And we're going to see if we can try to climb back and target the 618 Fibonacci at 1473. Would be nice to see if we can get up to that level again. Also, would be nice to see if we can get up to like $17 here, the 786 retracement, okay? Let's see what the oscillators are doing here. RSI looks fine. It's in neutral territory at 55. Buying pressure is starting to die down on the daily time frame here on ALCX. If this continues, you'll eventually see pink candles, which would justify this thing going to lower prices on you. And here on Market Cipher B, you got a red sell dot here. Came in today, saying that the momentum to the upside is just not there. Right, this blue momentum wave is starting to curve down a little bit. Money flow is still in the green, but if we continue, you know, selling off on this asset, then the money flow is going to start going down as well, back into the red, like you saw back here in the end of October. So this could be your warning sign to take profit at the very least, because ALCX, you got that red sell dot right now on ALCX right now. So there you go. That's my analysis there on ALCX. Let's take a look at World Liberty Finance. World Liberty Finance currently trading at 13 cents. Down 5.6% today. Look at, you know, Market Cipher B one more time here. You got that red sell dot that came in on World Liberty Finance. Came in on this Sunday, yesterday. So what does that mean? That means you know, momentum's going down to the downside. Money flow might start curving back down. It's the same thing as ALCX here. You already got your warning here to take profit, because you might see a few bad days ahead of you. on World Liberty Finance. Yikes. Where's the good news? Where's the good news, guys? Is this as good as it gets? Is like right now like the time to sell if you want to get the best price for your cryptocurrencies? Oh my god. I hate to see it be this way, guys, but that's what the charts are showing. Buying pressure is dying down here on World Liberty Finance. If it continues on, you'll eventually see red start showing up, and then you'll get the selling pressure candles going into the MACD here. RSI is also it's in neutral territory, but you know, we could see it go down lower. All right, let's see what I can do here with the chart here. How much lower could this thing go? We did see lows in November at 10 cents, roughly 10.5 cents. So this thing could possibly come back and revisit that level again one more time. I don't really have that much data because World Liberty Finance coin is a new coin and it just showed up on Mexi Exchange in September here. But let's see. Yeah, the lows for November was 10.5 cents, but also the lows for the year was at 7 cents. So that could be another target to the downside. I don't know if you're long or shorting World Liberty Finance, but if you're shorting it, you could probably target 7 cents. And you can also target 10 cents as one of your first take profit targets on your short. Janie Mikey is asking me about Dogecoin. And you asked me how much lower can Dogecoin go. And Bitcoin is still dropping. It's at 92,200. Lorraine says it's getting closer to 91K. All right, let me go ahead and write down Doge here. Thank you for following me here, Janie Mikey. Let's see. Dogecoin. Did I miss any other requests here? I don't think so. Yeah. All right. I think I got Dogecoin in my watch list here. It's like one of the meme coins that I like to watch. Let me pull that up here. Dogecoin currently trading at 15 cents roughly, down 2.97%. And you want to know how much lower could Dogecoin go? Well, I did draw a Fibonacci to the downside because we saw Dogecoin trading at what, roughly 21 cents. Yeah, it was trading at 21 cents back in October. And I have some downside targets for, yeah, you got a 1272 that says this thing could go down to 14 pennies, which doesn't seem like too brutal. It's only down 1 penny from where we are right now, but then there's a 1618 at 12 pennies here. And there's a 2618 that says Dogecoin could get down to like 6 cents. Now, that's just Fibonacci analysis there. Let's throw in the VRVP indicator here, and I'm going to zoom out to get as much data as I possibly can here. See what the VRVP indicator has to say with the volume nodes. Okay, so the VRVP indicator is this indicator off to the right. Shows you where people were buying and selling since March of 2023. That's how far back we're going. And yeah, see, you're sitting at 15 cents, but there is a high volume node here at 12 cents. So that's that 1618 Fibonacci that I was talking about at 12 cents. So you could see Dogecoin go down to 12 cents before it gets some support. If you're not able to hold 12 cents, then the volume starts to increase steadily here as more and more people are more excited about buy Dogecoin. But the majority of people that bought Dogecoin, they bought it at this blue line here at 8 cents. But that's still brutal, okay? Because if we go down to 8 cents, that's roughly like a 50% haircut on Dogecoin, okay? But 8 cents is where people were buying Dogecoin back in February 2024. It topped out here in July of 2023. It was trading there around April of 2023, and you know, basically the majority of 2023, Dogecoin was trading at 8 cents. So that's your support if we do go down there to those low prices, okay? 8 cents on Dogecoin to the downside. And you asked me for it. You asked me how much lower could it go. I think obviously 14 cents is next on deck. That could be a short-term target that could happen later on this week. But 12 cents is probably what could happen in the next week or two. And then 8 cents could happen at some point as well. You're welcome, Janie. I hope I'm saying your name right. Janie Mikey. It looks like it's a couple's account here on TikTok. Okay. Alright. So we just went through all the requests here. Let's see what you guys are saying here on YouTube. DZ saying Jerome Powell's not going to be cutting rates. Yeah, you know, I think that's what the markets are doing right now. The markets are just totally upset that Jerome Powell, you know, and that last meeting, Jerome Powell, he could have just said, like, you know, he could have just said that lowering interest rates is not on the table for December, and just left it at that. But he had to take it a step further by saying that it's, if anything, it's completely far from it. That's like, what? So what do you mean? Could we possibly be raising interest rates? Is that what you're implying there, Jerome Powell? Far from it? Like, what is far from it supposed to mean? So you're not planning on raising rates at all? I mean, lowering interest rates at all? And I think that was the nail in the coffin for cryptocurrency. And that was right after Donald Trump was talking about 100% tariffs on China, which he didn't do, thank God. But we were already getting kicked in the teeth. You know, we were already getting kicked on the ground. And then Jerome Powell came in and started joining in and kicking us in the teeth here in cryptocurrency world. Now, the stock market didn't like it either, but the stock market is not dropping like a rock like cryptocurrencies are, because in the stock market world, they actually have earnings. They have earnings seasons, and the earnings season has been kind of decent for a lot of stocks out there. Let me just look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 looks like it's down 0.8%, 0.9% roughly. NASDAQ is down 0.9% as well, and same thing with the Dow Jones, down 0.9%. But you can see that these stocks, like the stock indexes, the indices here, they've been climbing, going up and to the right. Ever since like April, after the tariff scare, they've been going up and to the right, up and to the right. But now I think people are wondering about, you know, are we actually going to lower interest rates again and keep this bull run going in the stock market world? Or are we going to start seeing lower prices here on our stocks? And then some people are wondering, like, you know, there's a lot of fluff in the market because of the AI trade. A lot of these AI companies like NVIDIA and, I don't know, I guess NVIDIA is like the pure play AI play right now. But can they continue getting as much demand and customers as they say they're going to get and beat out expectations in the stock market world? Some people are starting to doubt that the AI trade might be overplayed by now, that these companies need to come back to reality again. And if that does, you know, then you'll probably see that, you know, the Dow Jones will drop down to at least the 50-day moving average. This thing is still bullish. Like, I mean, it was above its 21 EMA for like the longest time, using it as support. Same thing with like the S&P 500, also, you know, staying above the 21 EMA. But now we're finally seeing a little bit of a sell-off here in the markets for the stock market. And if we come down, we're just going to be coming right down to the 50 moving average. On the S&P 500, that's sitting at like 6,532. That's still bullish. They're not even worried about, you know, going below the 200-day moving average like we see here in Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies. Unfortunately, the stock market was the place to be. It wasn't crypto this year. Stock market was the place to be. So, you know, just keep that in mind, guys. You know, don't forget that stocks can still make you money. They've been making some people money here. But they're getting a you know, they're getting a dose of reality as well, as, you know, if we continue dropping down. They got some moving averages below them to give them support here, unlike Bitcoin and crypto. Bitcoin and crypto, we all we could do is, like, I got to go into, like, the VRVP indicator here to figure out where the support might be, or I have to start looking at the weekly chart. You know, on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, right? I do have a simple moving average here. The 50 moving average is sitting at 83K. I think by the time the price gets down there and meets up with the moving average, and we might see like 84, 86K as a support zone for Bitcoin. And that's using the 50 simple moving average on the weekly time frame here. But yeah, it's brutal out there. Ugh. And I was kind of hoping that we could get a little bit of a bounce. Could we, you know, get back up to 100K here, and you know, offload some of our bags? We didn't even get a chance to do that. We just sliced right through all the support zones. No support, no support, no support here at 96K, no support here at 94K. Just coming right down, dropping like a rock. Ugh. Ugh, this makes me want to throw up. But I did sell, thank God, more than 50% of my spot bags before it got a lot worse out there. Tariq is wondering, does this mean we're approaching rock bottom? I hope so, Tariq. Just a lot of bleeding. But there is a very famous person that says you should buy something when there's blood on the streets, even if it's your own blood. Because over time the prices will recover, and then you might regret not being able to buy at the low prices that we're getting right now. Especially if you have a long-term view, if you're in this for the long term. And there it is. We lost 92K there, Laureen. We're at 91K. So alright, so let's get into the Bitcoin futures gap. The CME futures gap was an area that we were looking at on the daily chart, where it had a gap, and some people are saying that we need to close this gap at 91,970, which is not too far away. But right now the CME futures is trading at 92,300, so it's a little bit above the spot price right now. But eventually the futures will catch up to where spot price is at. Yeah, see, it's dropping 92,285. So some people are saying that we have to fill in this gap here at 91,970, and then we can get a meaningful bounce off of this area to go to higher prices. So maybe today is as bad as it gets for the month of November, and then that's it. Then the bleeding stops. That would be nice, because we're almost there. Jason Voorhees wants to look at Arbitrum. Yeah, 91,970 on the futures gap. Doesn't seem like it's too far away. RP is asking, are we going to bottom at 88K? And somebody else here is saying Solana is tanked right now. I don't think Donald Trump is shorting right now. I don't even think Donald Trump even knows how to short. If Donald Trump was shorting, somebody's doing it for him. He's a real estate guy. He's not like a stock market or even a crypto guy. He just recently got into crypto last year. I don't think Donald Trump even knows how to short. But somebody might be doing it for him. We have somebody here that says that all the people that are in leverage will lose all of it. I'm actually in a leverage short on Ethereum right now. I'm shorting Ethereum. You think Donald Trump and his sons ruined the market? Yeah, you might be right. Alright, let's see. We got a request here. We got to look at Arbitrum, right? Yeah, we got to look at Arbitrum for Jason here. Alright, so here we got Arbitrum currently trading at 22.5 cents, down 4.46% today. Looks like I identified that Arbitrum was in a descending triangle here. And if this is a descending triangle, like, let's see. Oh, actually, I identified it as a bear flag, actually. So, descending triangle, bear flag. You know, this is the flagpole. It's an upside down flag. If this thing was to play out, you know, this bear flag was to play out, we broke out on November 11th here. And it's showing that Arbitrum could drop down to 14 cents. That blue number right there. So look out below on Arbitrum. I mean, you already did drop below 14 cents. You did that on October 10th. You got down to like 10 cents. 10.5 cents roughly on Coinbase Exchange. A lot of these cryptos, a lot of these assets, you have to like, how far down can it go? Because there's no moving average support, at least not on a daily time frame. If I go into a weekly time frame, is there any moving average support on the weekly time frame? I mean, it hasn't really been on Coinbase that long for us to have anything else besides a 21 EMA and the 50 moving average. But you're below all those moving averages on the weekly time frame, so I can't even use that as support because it's above you. So what, the 3-day time frame? Maybe 3-day? Nope, you're below the moving averages on the 3-day as well. So if I go with like all the time frames here that I got, Arbitrum is below all the moving averages. There's really, you know, like there's really nothing to look at here. It's below all the moving averages. Maybe a 5-minute time frame. Even on the 5 minutes, it gets worse and worse and worse. Alright, let me get back in the daily time frame here. Alright, so what can I do here for Arbitrum? Arbitrum, I think as far as Coinbase goes, like, you've never been this low on Arbitrum, except for back in October. Alright, downside target, like I said, the bear flag target's at 14 cents. And then the lows for the year is 10.5 cents, is where you could get some support on Arbitrum. And that's it. I could give you upside targets. Anything higher would be great, right? Feeling all this pain right now. Just getting back up to the bear flag area, you know, at 30 cents. That's almost like a 50% gain from where you are right now. And then getting back up to that 200-day moving average at 39 cents. That's almost like a double from where you are right now. Let's just measure that out real quick here. But yeah, if you just get back to where you were like a month ago, that's a 35% gain on Arbitrum. And if you get back up to the 200-day moving average, that's like a 75% gain. Yeah, it's a very weird bull market that we had here for cryptocurrencies. As a matter of fact, I think altcoin season was just what? It was like last December and January, and that was it. And then the altcoins went into a bear market while Bitcoin was still doing its thing. And Bitcoin's bull market wasn't really too much of a bull market because every time we made a new all-time high, we dropped down. And then when we made a new all-time high, it was only like $1,000 more than the previous all-time high. So like that was pretty whack, in my opinion. This whole bull market was whack. Janie Mikey's asking me, what's my take profit on my Ethereum short? I can tell you right now it's at $2,700. But let's look into Ethereum real quick. I think did someone request Ethereum? I don't know if they did. I might have just been looking at this on my own time, but I do have a Fibonacci that I drew when Ethereum was at like $2,100 back here on June 22nd. And I drew that Fibonacci from June 22nd all the way to the top here at 49.55, where we topped out at Ethereum at 49.55 on August 24th here. And there is a 0.236 Fibonacci level at $2,700. It's where Ethereum could drop down to, and maybe there might be a little bit of fight from the bulls, where the bulls try to push the price back up again. But we just lost $3,000 on Ethereum just now, Yikes. It's brutal, guys. It's brutal out there. Bitcoin's at 91,900. So we could be closing up that Bitcoin CME futures gap. But yeah, that's my target for my my Ethereum short. Matter of fact, I gotta move the stop loss to break even now. I think I have my stop loss at like 3,070 or 3,090. I can't really remember, somewhere in that area. But yeah, I'm getting paid on my short. Unfortunately, I don't want to make money with the market going down, but this is how I have to make money now. At least on, for my daily income, I have to short and actually get paid on the short. Yeah, we never had a bull market like this. That's what I think. I think altcoins already had their bull market, was 2024 for the altcoins. And then they went into a bear market in the beginning of 2025. And now Bitcoin is actually going into a bear market itself. When did we lose the 200-day moving average? Because that's my qualification. I have two qualifications for a bear market on any asset. You got to be below 20% on the highs for the year. Okay. So Bitcoin topped out at 126K, 2,000, 126,200. And then you also have to be below the 200-day moving average to be in a bear market, okay? So Bitcoin lost its 200-day moving average in a convincing fashion on November 3rd. So not too long ago. It was only like 2 weeks ago. But this is the beginning of the bear market for Bitcoin. Yeah. In my opinion. Oh, look at that. And we got a bounce on Bitcoin. Bitcoin bouncing up to 92,300. Is it because we hit the futures gap? Let's take a look at the Bitcoin futures again. Let's see, did we actually close that gap? We got down to 92,080. And that futures gap was, we needed to get down to 91,970, so not quite. It's close, but not quite. But it looks like right now, at least on Coinbase Exchange, the bulls, they're trying to put a little bit of a fight. Like we dropped down on the 5-minute time frame. We dropped down to 91,800. I mean, we all saw that. You saw it on my live stream just now. It got a little bit of a hammer candle going on. That's good to see. But it's a 5-minute time frame, so it's not that significant of a time frame here. But on the 5-minute time frame, you see this 21 EMA is acting as a bully, acting as resistance. Every time we go up to it, we lose it. If we get above the 5-minute time, the 21 EMA and the 5-minute time frame, I would start to be a little bit more hopeful here. But you can see, like, we've gotten above the 21 EMA, this white line, around 12 o'clock this afternoon, and then we lost it. Came back up to it again, rejected. Yeah. Laureen, we almost filled the gap. We still haven't filled the gap yet on the Bitcoin futures gap. Let me go back to it again. Maybe we might fill it this afternoon or this evening. We only got as low as 92,080. We need to get to 91,970. 91,000. Where is this thing? Oh wait, I'm sorry. That's the wrong gap here. The gap is right over here. 91,970. Yep. Still haven't closed it yet. Close, but we haven't closed it yet. Crypto Doe Craig, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. You can also follow me here on YouTube, guys. I am on YouTube. Let me see if I can do a quick shout out to my YouTube. See if I can pull that up real quick here. So there is a Meet Damien YouTube channel. If you guys want to come on to YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And you can watch the replay of these live streams here that I make. This is the live stream that you're watching right now. Live stream from last Friday and last week. Live streams. Okay? But you can watch the replay on the live streams. So if I missed your coin, you know, and I talked about it earlier, you can just watch the replay there. Did we go down to 91,900? No, we haven't. We haven't. Not yet, Lauren. BBY, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Well, I think I'll give you the synopsis here on Bitcoin here, guys. Not looking good, obviously. If we continue going down lower below 91K, we do have the 0.236 fib retracement at 86K. Is an interesting area to be looking for to scoop up some cheaper Bitcoin. Then if I pull up the VRVP indicator here, you'll start seeing on the high volume nodes here, which is the green and red indicator to the right. If I start zooming in on this, you'll see that you know, this is where we're at right now at 91K, but there's some high volume here at 88K, could be a support area, and then there's also some high volume here at 84K. So anywhere between 84 to 88K is where I'm looking for Bitcoin to go next if 91K is not going to hold. Simple as that. Lorraine, so the futures, Bitcoin futures does not follow spot price. Spot price went down to 91,900. Okay, that's spot price. We're talking about Bitcoin futures, which is a little bit different. There's a little bit of a premium on Bitcoin futures because the contract ends at the end of the month. So they know that the prices could still go up towards the end of the month. So there's like a couple $100 more on Bitcoin futures versus Bitcoin spot price. Or at least on the CME futures, like I'll show you right now. So Bitcoin, you know, futures is at 92K right now, even though the spot price is at 91K. You know, Bitcoin futures is at 92,170, and spot prices on Coinbase is at 91,800. So there's a little bit of a premium on the futures. So if we say that, you know, Bitcoin futures needs to go down to 91,970, then that probably means that the Bitcoin spot price needs to go down to like 91,500. Yeah. And then we might get a bounce. I just gave it to you right there, Garage Guy. We could see 91,500. On the Bitcoin futures, we might see 91,900. Because that seems where they're going to take us down to, where we might get a bounce at that area. We might. There's no guarantee, but for those who are paying attention to the Bitcoin futures gap, which is close to where we're at right now, that's where someone might decide to throw their hat in the ring and try to buy some Bitcoin, and then maybe we can stop the bleeding. But if we can't stop the bleeding, then we might go down to 88K next. That's the next level to look for. But yep, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, guys. I'm probably going to end the live stream here, guys. I hate to end it on a bad note, but I mean, we've already had a few bad days. You guys already know what's going on with Bitcoin. We just need to stop the bleeding and actually go up for at least 1 or 2 days here, right? Because it's been bad. Like red. No green. Where the hell is the green? There is no green. Not on the futures. Oh, wait a minute. We're getting close to it. I see Bitcoin spot price at 91,600. And the futures is at 92,090. Are we actually? All we gotta do is go down another $100 here, and we'll hit that futures gap. Should I stick around for a few more minutes here and see if we actually hit that futures gap. For those who are just joining in on the live stream here, we're trying to see if Bitcoin is actually going to hit this this gap here. We have a gap that's trying to get filled here. Some people say that this gap needs to get filled before we can actually go up to higher prices. Oh, there it is, 91,970 guys on Bitcoin futures. We closed the gap literally on this live stream. We just did that right there, guys. Now, are people going to hit the buy button? Do I need to close out my short on Ethereum? I think I should at least put my stop loss at break even, maybe a little bit of profit so I can make some profit here. But yeah, guys, that's it. We hit the futures gap, and we're climbing up now. Was that all we needed to see today? Somebody was waiting for that, because look, we just climbed up from 91,900 to 92,290. So it's probably going to be a little bit of bouncing back and forth here. Let's go into the 5-minute time frame. Nope, now we're coming back down again. So I'm expecting us to like go sideways unless we get a V-shaped recovery. I don't know if we're going to continue dropping down, because I think we were all looking for that, and I think the buyers are going to show up now that we actually hit that gap. Let's see if I can see anything promising here on the 15-minute time frame. Selling pressure is dying down a little bit. Got a green buy dot on the 15-minute time frame, so maybe. I mean, we're looking at that. Looking at the price right now, 92,400 on the futures. Ugh, okay. Alright, guys. That's going to be it for today. I will see you same time tomorrow. 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to see if I can cash out on my short right now. Alright, try to make some money today. Take care, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, guys. Take care.